I want to get smacked in the face with a pumpkin. I'm worried. That didn't taste very good. It tasted like pumpkin flavored paint. Welcome back everybody to the latest Freakin' 2 food review. On today's menu, we've got all things pumpkin spice. This is the time of year where all the companies jump on the bandwagon and everybody's sick of it by January. But I thought it'd be fun this year to test and rank 10 name brand prepackaged pumpkin spice foods. And I've got pumpkin spice up the wazoo. These are all brands you know and hopefully love, and they all have pumpkin spice offerings this year. I'm trying them out right now. I'm gonna give you my top 10 rank. As far as ranking these goes, I'm gonna be looking at everything. The balance between pumpkin spice and the original flavor. Does it enhance the original flavor? Is it just a novelty? We're taking that all into consideration. We, meaning me. And I'm gonna rank these as I go. I really wasn't sure what order to try these in, so I'm just gonna go on with it. So first up, breakfast staple would be Cheerios pumpkin spice. It's been around for a while. I've never tried it. I've never tried any of these before. So let's take a look and see what we've got here. By the way, on the back it says corn maze. They blew it. They should have spelled maize like the corn, but they didn't. Come on, Cheerios. So let's open these up. It does smell. It has a slight pumpkin spice flavor to it. Let's put some in a bowl here. All right, it looks like a standard bowl of Cheerios, but will it taste like it? Hopefully not. First pumpkin spice taste test. Let's see what we got. Down the hatch. So what am I thinking about these Cheerios here? I mean, I can taste the pumpkin spice, but it's more like a cinnamon nutmeg kind of a thing. It's way in the back. It's more Cheerios. I would say it's a little bit off balance. It tastes good, but I gotta be critical here. This is not some fanboy taste test. This is critical. I'm gonna take my job seriously here. I would say nice try, but I'm pretty sure this is not gonna land at the top of the list. But for right now, it's number 1. And by the way, between each round, I'm going to be doing a palate cleanse just to keep things fair. A saltine cracker and some sparkling water. By the way, when I was a kid, I didn't like Cheerios that much because I had to have sugar on everything. In fact, I would get the most sugary cereal I could and dump sugar on it. So I definitely didn't like Cheerios. I liked them when I got older, but when I was a kid, not so much. Next up, if you've ever wanted your nuts to taste like pumpkin spice, I have the answer for you. Planters Pumpkin Spice Almonds. They're supposed to be roasted almonds dusted with a pumpkin spice flavor. And they look like almonds. I don't really smell any pumpkin spice. It actually kind of smells a little bit like dog food. It smells like my dog's kibble. That doesn't bode well, but let's try these out and see how they taste. All right, they taste better than they smell. I would say that the coating of the pumpkin spice on the almonds is actually quite nice. It's a good balance. The pumpkin spice flavor is there, but it seems to enhance the almond flavor rather than compete with it. Yeah, I'm a fan of this. The pumpkin spice, it tastes like pumpkin spice. It enhances it without being too overpowering. That's good. So right now I would say the pumpkin spice almonds are number 1 and the Cheerios are number 2. But our list has a long way to go. Palate cleanse. Next up, we're moving into the serious junk food territory here now. And that is the Little Debbie's Oatmeal Cream Pies, pumpkin spice flavored. Little Debbie, what are you hiding underneath there? I mean, this seems like it will be somewhat of a nostalgic snack, but they've upgraded it with a pumpkin spice variant. It sounds too good to be true. And that looks delish, that's right. I mean, how could this possibly be bad? I mean, like all the ingredients are already awesome. There's no way it can be bad unless they completely botched it. Is the pumpkin obvious or just a hint? Let's find out. I mean, it's definitely good. It tastes like an oatmeal cream pie, but the pumpkin is way in the back room. The pumpkin, I could pull a dog hair up there. There's always dog. I don't know how much dog hair I've eaten over the years. I've eaten a lot of dog hair. The flavor, it's very good, but I feel like the pumpkin spice just kind of got left behind. I would say it's good, but it's a bit too subtle for me. So I'm gonna slide this one right now at number 2, below the almonds and above the Cheerios. Nice offering, but I feel like it's not quite as balanced as I would like. Sorry, Little Debbie, I call them like I see them. Palclin. Now next up is the one I'm probably the most interested in because it seems like the most unlikely, and that is the Thomas Pumpkin Spice English Muffins, that's right. I'm gonna throw this in the toaster and we'll come back and try it out. All right, out of the toaster, let's give them a taste. I've got one with butter on it and one without. Taking a look at this, this has more nooks and crannies than my forehead does. That doesn't mean it won't taste good though. When I smell it, I don't smell any pumpkin whatsoever. I don't smell anything. First up, plain with no butter. Now with butter. All right, I gotta say, I don't taste any pumpkin whatsoever, none. If you had told me these were regular English muffins, I would have believed you. I didn't taste it whatsoever, so unfortunately, I put it at the bottom. Cheerios, you're not gonna be in last place. Right now, Thomas, and your lack of pumpkin spice puts you in last place right now, but we have plenty more to test out. Palate cleanse. Next up, it's time for the Krusteaz Pumpkin Spice Pancake Mix. They say it's light and fluffy. So I just went over to the stove and prepared them, and here we are. The mix itself was very kind of pumpkin-y looking. It almost looked like baby food. There's a very faint pumpkin smell to this, but not significant. So I think what I'm gonna do now is try it with and without syrup and see how it tastes. By the way, the packaging does say it's made with real pumpkin. Will that make it taste better? Hopefully. Here we go, without syrup. Now that's good. It doesn't even need syrup. It doesn't need syrup, it's that good. I'm gonna try a bite with syrup on it and see how it tastes. Oh. Krusteaz bringing their A game on this one. Right now, I'm gonna say this is #1. They just bumped everything down by a notch. In fact, let me try with these almonds again. Go back and forth. Almonds. Pancake. Man, it's kind of competitive at the top there. I'm gonna have to say the Krusteaz is just slightly edging out the Planters, but man, is it close. It is light and fluffy. It does have a nice pumpkin flavor to it, but it's just enough that it adds to it without taking away or being too sweet. I think they knocked this one out of the park. That one I could eat all year long, and I don't think I'd get sick of it by January like all these other ones. But now it's time for PC. We're only halfway through. Next up, it's the Quaker Oats Pumpkin Spice Oatmeal. That's right. They say it's a limited edition. There's not really a lot about the pumpkin spice flavor on here, but it doesn't really matter if it tastes good. I have prepared a nice steaming bowl of oatmeal. There's a subtle pumpkin smell there. The scent of pumpkin is wafting off of this oatmeal into my nostrils. Let's try it. And the texture is standard oatmeal. Is it cozy and warm tasting? I feel like the flavor is right. I'm just not sure if it's quite as prominent as I want it to be. It seems like it's a little bit, it's kind of standing behind the main flavor and is peeking its head out the side. That's not really prominent. There are notes, there are hints. When I see this big old orange box with pumpkin on it, I don't want hints. I want to get smacked in the face with the pumpkin, and I'm not getting smacked. Maybe a little dainty glove tap that they used to do before duels, but I'm not getting smacked. I want to get smacked. I think the flavor is good. I just think the pumpkin is too buried to really call this one a top tier contender here. I'm putting this one right now at #5, which bumps Thomas down to #6. Sorry, Thomas. I don't think Thomas is getting out of that bottom spot, unless something's really bad, because I've got some pretty good ones coming up. At least so it seems. Palate cleanse. Next up, let's move up to a favorite of most people, and that is Pop-Tarts. This doesn't say pumpkin spice, it says pumpkin pie, but I figure it's gotta be about the same, right? I think this is the only one that doesn't say pumpkin spice on it, but I had to try these out. You know, I was looking online to see if people prefer their Pop-Tarts room temperature or warmed up. It seems like there's no real consensus. I'm gonna try both ways. But it looks like they're gonna have some pumpkin pie filling and their typical frosting with some sprinkles on there. Is the frosting and the sprinkles gonna take away from it? That's concerning. I'm worried. All right, so I'm gonna put one aside here on my nice clean table. I'm gonna throw this one in the toaster for a few seconds and see how it actually tastes. I'll be right back. All right, room temperature and very lightly toasted. Let's try these both out. Room temperature first. Wait a second, that didn't taste very good. Let me try a warm one. I'm sure there's Pop-Tart fans out there that love these, but I gotta say, that was terrible. I did not like that at all. It tasted like paint. That was really bad. It was like the pumpkin flavor was there, but it was just not a good pumpkin flavor. It tasted like pumpkin flavored paint. That's what it tasted like. Pumpkin flavored paint. I'm not a fan of those Pop-Tarts. I'm sorry. And Pop-Tart fans out there, don't be offended, but I gotta call it like I see it. So right now, Pop-Tarts all the way at the bottom. Thomas, you're not gonna be in last place after all. Now I'm looking forward to this palate cleanse. Let's move on to the next one now. Next up, we have the Pop'ems Donut Holes Pumpkin Flavored. Mini donuts, perfect snack size. And there we go. They look delicious, but it's kind of hard to mess up donuts. But it's also, you'd think it'd be hard to mess up Pop-Tarts, and they messed those up. Let's just give one of these a sniff here. Smells like donuts. I don't really smell the pumpkin so much though, but let's give this a taste here, see what we got. Entenmann's Pop'ems Mini Donut Hole. Now that's interesting. One more for educational purposes. The pumpkin flavor is a tiny bit weak, but I almost don't mind because the overall flavor is so good. That's solid. Now, whereas some of these other ones, the pumpkin was way in the back and it really didn't work, in this case, the pumpkin being in the back does work. You already have a lot going on with the donut. You don't want to overpower it with too much pumpkin. In this case, I think the weaker pumpkin actually works. I've eaten a lot of holes in my days, and these are some of the best holes I've eaten. Now, where's this going to rank? Let me take a bite of a few more things here. Let me go back and forth. Pancake, almonds, Little Debbie, back to the donut. All right, this one's sliding into the number 3 spot currently, just behind the almonds. I think it's a solid contender. Maybe not quite as good as the top 2, but it is a solid contender, and I will demolish this box when this video's over. PC. Next up, we have the Jell-O pumpkin spice pudding and pie filling. There's virtually nothing about it in this box except for the flavor itself. So I prepared this earlier. So I'm gonna pull it out of the fridge and give it a taste. Let's take a little spoonful and see what we got. Looks like pudding. Am I gonna eat this entire bowl? We'll see how it tastes first. When I prepared, I didn't really smell a lot of pumpkin. I don't really smell a lot of pumpkin now. That doesn't mean anything based on what I've tasted already. Here we go. This is the strongest and the most authentic pumpkin I've tasted so far. I gotta give it good marks for that. I mean, I'm not a huge pudding fan. I don't sit around going, I wish I had some pudding right now. It's also not good to eat pudding when you have facial hair, but that's not your problem. But where to rank this one? Compare these donut holes again. This is a tough one for the rank as far as I'm concerned. I'm gonna have to slide this one to number 3 and bump the donut holes down just because it's such a strong, authentic pumpkin flavor. How do you downgrade that? The donut holes had more subtle pumpkin flavor, so I don't think they deserve to be the number 3 spot over the pudding. It's like trying to rank your children. I mean, I like all these, except for the Pop-Tarts. The Pop-Tarts would be a stepchild you don't like. But the rest of these I do like, and it's hard to rank them, but I'm doing my best. But I will say it might look like baby food, but it definitely tastes like pumpkin. And it comes down to our last contender here, which this one I know has fans out there. The Lindor Pumpkin Spice Truffles, that's right. These can't be bad. Nice packaging. Obviously, it doesn't look like anything unusual on the outside, but let's see what's in the inside. You can't really tell from the inside what I'm tasting here. At first you get that kind of standard truffle flavor, which is not a bad thing, but the pumpkin spice kind of sneaks in. It kind of sneaks in the back door. Man, that's good, but once again, the pumpkin is pretty distant. The pumpkin comes in at the end, but it's still not that prominent. This is definitely the way to go if you want to be the most pretentious pumpkin spice consumer out there. But as far as my ranking goes, this is the last one of the bunch. This could affect everything. Let me try this Little Debbie again. Donut hole. After painstaking consideration, I've decided to put the Lindor Truffles at number 6, in between the Little Debbie and the Cheerios. I just think that they taste amazing, but the only problem is that the pumpkin is a little bit too weak for me. I think they could have upped the pumpkin quite a bit. They could have tripled it in there, and I think I would like it a little better. Right now, it's a good truffle with a hint of pumpkin. So that's it. That's our ranking. That's what we got. Number 1, we have the pancake mix, the shocker. Number 2, the planter almonds. Number 3 is gonna be the pudding. 4 are the donut holes. Number 5, Little Debbie. 6, the truffles. 7 is Cheerios. 8 is the oatmeal. 9 will be the Thomas English muffins. And a distant 10th would be the Pop-Tarts, which I did not like. If you like those Pop-Tarts, I apologize for not liking them, but I did not like them at all. Everything else I thought was quite good. But that's all I've got for this video. If you've tried any of these pumpkin spice flavors, tell me what you think in the comments below. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.